All right, let's now speak to security analyst Abdullahi Bori on what this particular ban will mean for travelers as well as this particular airlines, the Turkish Airways. We have seen the Emirates airline as well as Qatar Airways. Thank you so much, Abdullahi, for joining us. The very moment you heard about this particular ban, what went through your mind?
I think, we need to put it in its, proper context. Donald Trump came into power on the back of, America First, making America strong. So I think the inward-looking posture that the administration, that platform that he campaigned on is essentially what he is implementing. But for me, I think purely from a security point of view, I was hard-pressed to figure out really if laptops, if tablets are not in your carry-on, but they are in your luggage. If it's for security reasons, they can't be part of your luggage, then I think that should apply across the board.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm still struggling to figure out really how that, how those two things are related. Secondly, the underwear bomber didn't fly from any of these countries. The underwear bomber flew through Holland when he came, and he was intercepted. So I think there's a fair degree of lack of clarity, if you will. Yeah.
But looking at the time this is coming out, we know about the incident that happened in Mogadishu and the kind of security operations that are happening, say, in Syria, in parts of the Middle East. Could this have informed the decision?
It's very easy. Like a lot of explanation that you get are along those lines. If I could use my laptop, I could use my iPhone. So I think for me, those things, we've got to be, it's always national security takes precedent over everything. But I think sometimes we've got to be very careful. Everything is couched under the banner of national security. If it's a threat to the United States and UK, it's a threat to so many other countries. And I think because of, collective security procedures, those countries could or should have implemented. And then, of course, you can't determine which country should go first. It is United States' prerogative to do that. But I think the answer for the ban is more than just, security.
This particular ban, is it the last resort, or are there ways that they could handle such concerns as opposed to a blanket ban like that?
Yeah, sure. Airport security over the last few years, since the shoe bomber, has completely stepped up. There are areas now they're even using, facial recognition technologies. Like in some airports in the United States, once you come through the custom, everything is fairly automated, and the procedures are incredibly strict. So I'll be, like I said at the beginning, I'll still be hard pressed. I'm not surprised that this is the decision that under the Trump administration the United States has taken. But for the UK, I was slightly surprised, actually.
You've said that if there's a threat in the US and the UK, it means there's a threat to the rest of the world.
Exactly.
So are we likely to see this in Africa?
If United States and UK provide the intel that they relied on for this ban, which is indefinite, by the way, then other countries should follow suit. But that should be based on serious security interrogation rather than just as a fiat accompli. Yeah, they have said, so it is what it is. My sense, really, to the broader issue is the BA, British Airways and American Airlines have been incredibly under assault, whether it's the pilot, the engineers, trade routes from Qatar and particularly Emirates Airlines. And so my sense is it's largely more business rather than that, because Qatar Airways and Emirates Airline have expanded over the last few years. However, I still struggle because Boeing is still an American company. They buy all these planes from there and they don't come cheap. So I don't know why they would want to really piss off, if you will, one of their loyal clients.
It's a good thing you've mentioned the business perspective, because I was getting into that. The airlines, the British, the Emirates, so we have the Qatar Airways, the Turkish Airlines. What does this mean for them now, given that we have passengers, the top-notch passengers that they have actually fly and work at the same time?
That, it's going to hurt them. Let's not kid ourselves. This is incredibly hurt their business bottom line. Because if you really look at it, the people that work on transit, the people who are using business class, because in the economy class, it's really hard to actually work on your electronic devices unless you're playing games. So for most of these guys, it's an inconvenience. They are already paying premium. So for them to be told, dude, you can't do this. I think
do I really need to pay
exactly. So
premium?
they will have to. They will think twice. But I'm hoping that possibly one way around it is for these airlines, 8, 9, 10 airlines, to begin having working relations, let's say, with other airlines. For instance, they will do route share with, for instance, let's say Kenya Airways for Nairobi to Dubai, and Dubai to the US will be done by Kenya Airways. But then these routes are not really the most profitable routes in terms of the kind of profile of the passengers. So I think it's gonna hurt. Yeah, it's gonna hurt their bottom line.
So is there a way out for them?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know, to be honest. Yeah.
Abdullahi, thank you so much for coming in. Abdullahi Bori is a security analyst. We'll wait and see how that goes. I'm hoping it's only for a while, but thank you so much for coming in. Once again, Abdullahi Bori is a security analyst. They're helping us analyze what this particular ban will mean for the airlines.